Hello, everybody. It's Barbara, and welcome to Pick a Stack Wednesday, the best day of the week. Right now, we are experiencing a thunderstorm, so if you hear some noise in the background, that's probably what that is. It just started about 5 minutes ago, right before I was going to start my video. That's okay. I have a theme or something I need to talk about with everybody today. Because last night at 3 o'clock in the morning-ish, I woke up with a start, wide awake. I was power sleeping, and something woke me up. I did not hear a noise. The dogs didn't stir. They were out. But something energetically woke me up and would not let me go back to sleep. Wide awake. So I don't always have my phone in the same room as me when I'm sleeping, but last night I did. And so I went and looked up what Stephen Burns was saying. And he said, yeah, big stuff from the sun coming in. Oh, it's coming in today. Well, I usually feel it before it hits the earth. But I wanted to talk about that even if you aren't aware of the solar plasma that is being sent to us, what you might be feeling, and that's waking up in the middle of the night and being wide awake, not being hungry when you're normally hungry, or like this morning, I don't usually eat breakfast anymore. Like, I just don't. I'm not hungry until about noon. This morning, I woke up starving. Like, I need a 3-course breakfast. Now, I haven't eaten yet because I told my body, no, that's something coming from out there. That's what happens when big plasma globs are being sent here. My stomach needs to be appeased. And I said, no, we don't need food. We're good. Plus, last night, I did eat a lot. I was already feeling it. And now that I look back, it's like, okay, yeah, I was feeling that because I ate maybe twice as much as I normally do. It was all healthy, but it was more than usual. So if you're having aches and pains, if you're having headaches, if it feels like your head's in a vice, that ear ringing, but the really intense ear ringing, all of a sudden your teeth hurt, you're super thirsty, or you don't want any water. I mean, these things, depending on who we are and the kind of being we are, it can go either way. Like I said, you're either super thirsty or you don't want any water. You're super hungry or you don't want any food. You're in a lot of pain or you're feeling ecstasy. There's some people that are like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. There's times when the solar energy does feel amazing to me, but this morning early was not one of them. I was not going, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. No, I was more like, I want to go back to sleep, and I'm meditating and meditating and meditating, and I'm tossing and I'm turning, and the dogs are even getting irritated with me. Althea got off the bed. She was like, enough of this crap. She had no problem going back to sleep. Not me. It actually started getting light out, so I know it was several hours. But I just needed to say this because somebody out there needs to hear this, that it's not just you. Another one of the things is like digestion issues, or like your stomach is almost like PMS. You can feel your muscles contracting. Our bodies are responding to whatever's going on out there. Maybe you're sleeping more. I've said this before. I can fall asleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the drop of a hat. But lately, the last few months, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm wide awake. And it's not just I wake up, I look at the clock, and I go back to sleep. No, it's I wake up and something is keeping me from going back to sleep. Now, that can be a couple things. It could be whatever's going on out there, wherever I was astral traveling. I am not supposed to be there. Okay, that happens. Or it could be, you know what? You're just not supposed to be sleeping right now. So meditate. Now is an excellent time for meditating. And you didn't do it during the day yesterday. And that was just lightning. So I'm taking that as an affirmation. 3 o'clock in the morning is a really good time to meditate. Because what else are you going to do? Just saying. So lots of things going on. You are not alone. You're not crazy. I mean, you might be crazy, but you're probably also having symptoms. Just pay attention to the patterns and pay attention to what your body needs. If your body says, I need rest, get some rest. Maybe you do need to take a nap at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe you do need to eat more fruit. To me, fruit is liquid sunshine. I love me a big bowl of fruit every afternoon. I can survive on that until supper time. And then I have a big chunk of meat. Gotta have some bacon and some steak in there somewhere, right? Okay, so some of the things that you can do to make yourself feel better, listen to frequency music like this here. This is high heart. This makes me feel good. I've got singing bowls. I've got tuning forks. I do play these every day. I play frequency music every day, every morning, every night. And I do it for my property. I do it for me, but it's also for my property to make it feel good. Taking a bath with Epsom salts, Himalayan pink salt, Celtic salt. Don't forget to throw some baking soda in there. Maybe some borax. Our bodies are depleted in boron. Our bodies are depleted in magnesium. That's the Epsom salts. The baking soda helps alkalinize the body because most of our bodies are way too acidic. So, baths, grounding. Maybe you need to go outside and put your bare feet in your yard. Personally, that doesn't do it for me. I like sand. So, I have we'll just say a bucket full of sand that I can put my feet in. It's great for in the winter when I can't be outside in the sand. Whatever feels grounding to you. Sometimes it's animals. Holding an animal. When I hold Althea or Angus, it makes me go instantly. Just grounding. It could be foods, grounding foods. Grounding foods are beef, pork, root vegetables, anything that comes from under the ground. So like broccoli is above, but sweet potatoes are below. So sweet potatoes are more grounding than broccoli. Whatever works for you. Plants. Plants are another thing. Sometimes plants ground people. Holding a tree, touching a tree. Or if you're inside, maybe just touching your indoor plant. Okay, whatever works. My guides are like, hello, rocks. I don't know why I skipped you guys. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Rocks, crystals, stones. Very grounding. They can be anyway. The stalactites and stalagmites, not so much because they're very airy. But the rest of them, for the most part, yeah. All right, so if you're new to Pick a Stack, let's get started. It's getting darker and darker, and it's raining now. I mean, it is dark outside. The sun was shining a half an hour ago. And I looked at the at the weather report last night for this morning, and it said no rain this morning. I'll have to work on that after I'm done here. If you're new to Pick a Stack, this is what we do here. We've got 3 stacks. Today, each stack includes 3 cards from 3 different tarot decks and a stone or crystal. And I'm going to do a reading on each stack. And hopefully, whichever stack you pick resonates with you. But I highly encourage you to listen to the whole video because you never know. There might be something in one of the other stacks that you didn't pick. Okay? Easy schmeezy. And this is a general reading, so we're not going to get real specific for you unless I get specific for you. I mean, it happens. All right, let's get started. If you chose stack number 1, let's start with your stone. This is bowling ball here. This gorgeous, I love apatite. Apatite, this is going to be heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye. It's this whole upper area, okay? This is why it makes us feel so good, and because it's a higher frequency stone. They say this is a deeply spiritual stone. Well, that's because it resonates in the higher chakras. It can help cleanse your aura. It can help you just feel better in the heart. It's good for, because it's good for your pineal gland, your third eye. It's going to help you with your psychic abilities, with your clairs, clairaudience, clairvoyance. There's all kinds of clairs. Now, if it were smaller, I'd say lie down and put this on your third eye. You do not want this one on your third eye because it's as heavy as your head. It might not feel so good, but you can put it right here if you wanted. So this is also really good for helping you access things like the Akashic records or soul contracts or anything out there that you want to access to help this version of you live a better life, or get rid of those things that don't serve your highest and greatest good. Okay, so very good stone for all this higher frequency, higher chakra work. Plus, it's freaking gorgeous. The blues and greens in there are just amazing. It's definitely raining. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, so we've got 3 cards. I'll show you the decks. We're going to have 1 card from each. We have the Animals Divine, that is Lisa Hunt. We have the Druid Craft Tarot, that is the Cargoms. And we have Spirit Song Tarot, which is Paulina Cassidy. So, okay, stack number 1. We've got some power here because these 3 cards, we have a king, a major arcana, and an ace. These are 3 power cards, and they're all in 1 stack. So we've got the King of Feathers, also known as the King of Air or the King of Swords. And in this deck, it is represented by the Big Daddy Lion. We've got from the Animals Divine deck, we have Bast as the High Priestess. And from the Druidcraft Tarot, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles are coins and earth. So the Ace of Pentacles, this is resources coming in. It's not necessarily money, it's physical resources coming in. This could be a somebody, it could be money, it could be something. Whatever you were asking about, if it's a material thing, a physical thing, it's coming. This is a new beginning for that. But I also get, because we have the High Priestess and the King, this is like whatever's coming in, you better treat it as sacred. You better treat it as important. In other words, don't fritter it away. fritter. That's not even my word. That's their word. Treat it as important. Do with it as you will, but it needs to be sacred. Like if you get an inheritance coming in, don't go out and buy a Lamborghini or a Maserati or whatever. Know that it's going to be needed going forward, and maybe you can get yourself a little something something, but for now, hang on to it because you're going to need it for something important. Wow. It is really coming down. So much so, I'm not going to put out my garbage can. I'm not going out in that. So, stack 1, super powerful. And this is why we have the apatite as a stone. Because remember, apatite is the higher chakras. It's your connection with God, Creator, Source, Great Spirit. So are these cards. You're getting this divine inheritance, and the universe is saying, don't fritter it away. Okay. Ooh, that was cool. I got new sidewalks yesterday, so now they're going to be clean. Okay, if you chose stack number 2, your crystal is clear quartz. And this one is one of Mike's crystal wood knots. So this is a beautiful oak slice. I almost said maple. This is an oak slice, but duh, there's the bark. And we have this amazing sparkly quartz. Look at that. Quartz, major healer, amplifier, protector. Quartz, actually all of the ones in the quartz family are like this. They are healers. They are amplifiers. They are protectors. They are like a great starter crystal for everybody. But they're like not just a starter, but the one that you need to have. You need to have one in your house. You need to have one in your office. Anywhere where you want that protection and the healing, and you can use it for manifesting. Thank you for helping me. I'm going to be really broad and general. Thank you for helping me manifest everything I need for the next chapter of my life. I don't even know what that is. So thank you for helping me manifest it. Yay! Thank you for helping me manifest my perfect job for me that's my joy, my perfect place of residence for me that's in the perfect location, the perfect price, and it's my joy. Perfect vehicle, perfect love, perfect whatever for me. Okay? If you say the perfect job, that doesn't exist. If you say the perfect mate, that doesn't exist. But the perfect mate for me does, and the perfect job for me does. The perfect home for me does. Got it? There's a difference. Be careful when you are trying to manifest something. You have to be very, very, very particular on your words. Okay? Be very, very careful. You don't have to be super specific, but you have to be careful with your words because words are spells. That's why we call it spelling, because they're literally spells. So be careful with your words. I would like this to be a rain-free zone for today. Okay, stack number 2. We have more power. Okay, apparently today is the theme is power. From the Druid Craft Tarot, we have the High Priest. In stack number 1, we had the High Priestess. Now we have the High Priest. From Spirit Song, we have the Hermit. So we have 2 major arcanas. And then we have the Three of Cups. This is a very happy, joyful card. That is from the Animals Divine Tarot. So, the Three of Cups, abundance, happiness, joy. I mean, it's in this deck, it's represented by this polar bear. He's diving down in the water, and there's 3 cups there on a ledge. Like, look what I found. I found the 3 of Cups, or I found 3 cups. This is awesome. So happiness and joy and abundance and prosperity and all the things, and right? Because cups are emotions, but this is happy. And the 3 of Cups doesn't have all the baggage that the higher cups have. Because there's this thing, like the richer you are, the more responsibility you have, the more people are going to come out and try to be your best friend and coerce you into things and stuff. So the 3 of Cups is still that happy, joyful, sweet, I had 3 cups. That's more cups than I had yesterday. Not a lot of responsibility there. So then the Hermit and the High Priest. So we've got the happiness and the joy. I have flashing lights going by. So much excitement. So the High Priest and the Hermit. The Hermit is represented by a koala bear in this deck. And he's just hanging out in his tree. He's like, yeah, I got 3 cups, but I am not going to do anything up from my ego side. I'm not going to go out and, like I was saying in stack number 1, I'm not going to go out and buy a Maserati. I'm just chilling in my tree. You know, I keep saying this, that when my ship comes in and I get my heavenly inheritance, there will be signs, but I won't tell anybody. But there might be a rose quartz bathtub coming. You know, I'm going to tell them, put it in an unmarked box. I'm just going to sit in my bathtub and I'm going to be so happy. So, the inheritance is coming in. I don't know why I'm using that word. Somebody's getting an inheritance. And that doesn't mean somebody has to die. It could be heavenly inheritance, which just comes out of the blue. But we're going to chill with it. We're going to treat it as sacred. It's almost just like stack number 1. There's new coming in. But again, we're not going to squander it. We're going to just chill. You guys, this just brings up a point that there's this huge thing that's coming. Okay? We can all feel it. Even the muggles are feeling it. They don't know what it is. But we can all feel this big change coming. So when you get your inheritance, your heavenly inheritance, whatever it is, whatever the thing is, just chill with it. Okay? Because this time next year, this is just me saying this, don't take this to the bank. This time next year, the whole world is going to be different. So, whatever you have, hang on to it. That could be sheets and bedding. Hang on to it. It could be towels. Maybe you're going to put all new towels in your home. Hang on to the old ones. No, I don't know why. Just hang on to some stuff. Somebody might need it, and you might need to share it with your neighbors. Okay? You might need it. I don't know. But just hang on to some stuff. It is really coming down. My patio is already flooded. Thank you for the cleansing. All right, that was stack number 2. We're going to move on to stack number 3. The stone in stack number 3 is fluorite. And I was going to pick a sphere. Actually, I had it in my hand, and then this one went, nope, you pick me. This is the green goddess. She's all green. I love these pieces where they're all smooth on one or a few sides, and then there's a rough side, and this top is rough. It's like a really cool sandwich. Fluorite, just like the apatite in stack number 1. Well, actually, all 3 of these, the clear quartz too. These are all higher chakra crystals. Now, I don't pick the crystals, my guides do. So I think they're telling us we all have to make sure that we are connecting to God, Creator, Source, Great Spirit. We need to connect to our higher selves. Who are you connecting? Are you focusing on connecting with 3D people? Yeah, that's okay. But you also need to focus on your higher self and the other higher dimensional beings. That can be Yeshua, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, all the other ascended masters. It could be angels and archangels from the light, and your spirit guides from the light, and your animal spirit guides from the light, and any galactic beings from the light. We need to focus on our connection with them. We don't need to focus on them. We need to focus on having a connection with them. That means, people ask me all the time, well, how do I do that? You meditate. If you're lying in bed and you can't fall asleep, it's a really good time to meditate. And besides, a lot of times you fall asleep while you're meditating. Yay, you. Just start talking to them. Ask them for a sign. Ask them for a specific sign. You know, back in the day, mine was a blue octopus because there's no blue octopi in Minnesota. And I've told this story many times. A couple days later, some young woman walks in with a big blue octopus on her hoodie. And I went, okay, can't make that up. If you ask for something that is very, very general, like spring in Minnesota, you ask for a robin, then you're going to question yourself. They'll bring you a robin, but then you're going to go, well, was that really a sign for me? Or was that just a robin? That's why you ask for something way out of the norm, like a blue octopus, okay? Or a green bird, because there's no green birds in Minnesota. Well, there might be, but I don't know. Not in my yard. So this fluorite, hang on one second. Fluorite can come in clear, green, purple, almost black, yellow, brown. It can come in a bunch of different shades. And sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's more opaque. It's still fluorite. It helps increase concentration, decision making, focus. It, just like the others here, it helps with protection. It helps with the higher chakras, connecting and meditating. It can act as an amplifier, just like the clear quartz can, or any of the quartz family. So if you want to, let's say you want to increase the power of this, put a quartz family stone with it. It's not rocket science, people. They're amplifiers. Put it with whatever you want amplified. Put it on a stack of cash if you want it amplified. Set the intention. Whatever it is you're doing, you know, for a side hustle or your career, if you want it amplified, set your intention and be specific and add a piece of fluorite. That's awesome for that. Plus, it's going to help for that with that concentration and focus. So maybe meditate with it and then set your intention. So let's see your 3 cards. guys, we just have so much power today in all three stacks. All right, so from the Spirit Song deck, we have the Four of Shells. Now, in stack number 2, we had the Three of Cups. So the Four of Shells is basically the Four of Cups. Okay, in this deck, there's shells instead of cups, but it's still the Four of Water. So the Four of Water, we went from 3 cups to 4 cups. From the Animals Divine Tarot, we have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Truth, the Ace of Air. It's represented in this deck by a nest of baby ducklings. Now, it is not killing the baby ducklings, so don't go there. This is truth being born. Okay? Baby ducklings represent birth or rebirth, and this sword is truth. It's communication. There's new ideas coming out of somebody's mouth. And then let me just cover her up. So then out of the Druidcraft Tarot, we have the Star, but she's naked, so I can't show that. This is a family show. So now we have the Star, Major Arcana, which is all about abundance. The Star card is usually a woman with 2 vessels. She's pouring one out onto the land and one out onto the water. Abundance, more than one kind of abundance, because it's going in 2 different places, land and water. Abundance. We've got abundance of life, baby ducklings being born. The Four of Shells. We went from the 3 of Shells in stack number 2 to the 4 of Shells in stack number 3. So if you chose stack number 3, the Star, first of all, it's also saying look up at the heavens, because that's where all this energy is coming from, you guys. It's coming from the planetary alignments. It's coming from the solar plasma that is being sent to the Earth. It is also the part of the galaxy and the universe that we're spiraling through. So a lot going on here. Then we've got new life, new truths being born. And we've got this Four of Cups, the Four of Cups, or in this deck, the Four of Shells. This is embodying happiness and joy. Like, we signed up to be here right now. So I'm supposed to say there's nothing to fear. Don't be scared. Don't be worried. Because when I started out this video, I said, there's big changes coming, and like, it affects the whole world. It's not America. It's not England. It's not Australia. It's everywhere. And I watch Stephen Burns religiously, and I watch others too, because, you need to verify. But there's earthquakes happening all over the place. Alaska and Russia and the Ring of Fire. They're saying Japan is going to be next. They can tell by which way the Earth is facing when the sun hits, when the solar plasma hits us. They can predict where the earthquakes and the volcanic activity are going to hit. So I highly encourage people to watch this stuff. And also, I am not saying worry. I'm not saying, run out to the grocery store. But everybody should have the necessities if the power goes out for days. If you can't get food for days. If you don't have food for like a week or even 2 weeks, I don't know what's wrong with you. People in the cities, the big cities, tend to have food day to day, which I've never understood. I'm from Minneapolis. Believe me, I am not saying that with any pride, because I do not like Minneapolis. Sorry, Joy. I know you live in Minneapolis. We've had this conversation many, many times, but it's just not for me. When I had my farm, I had a whole pantry in the basement. I had big gardens and I was canning all the time, and I had jars and jars and jars of stuff, because you make all this stuff in the summer, early fall, and then you eat on it throughout the year. So to only have food for today or maybe tomorrow just doesn't compute in my mind. I get meat from local farmers, and so I have a whole bunch of beef in my freezer. I'm getting chickens next week. I have a whole bunch of eggs. I have canned goods. Not necessarily because I think it's Armageddon, but because there's times when I just don't feel like going to the store. And especially in the winter, I live in Minnesota, in the middle of nowhere. If it's nasty out, I am not going to the store. I'm sorry, I'm not. So let's make chili. Anyway, my whole point is we need to have the bare necessities. You should have some candles. You should have some water. You should have... Think about what you need to survive. That's what you should have. You should have matches. Matches are great because you can put them in a baggie, in a tote, and forget about them. And they're still going to be as good 20 years from now as today. Whereas lighters, you can run out of lighter fluid. Well, they're great to stock up on, but also stock up on lighter fluid, especially, buy the ones that you can refill. Candles aren't going to expire. Make sure you put them in a place that, don't put them in my attic where it gets 104 up there. But these necessities that you need, some coloring books and some coloring pencils in case the power goes out, some board games, decks of cards. Believe me, I got lots of decks of cards. We need to have these kind of things for what's coming. And I'm not saying run out to the store and be a hoarder. Don't do that. You don't need a whole van full of toilet paper. Seriously, you don't. But maybe some books. What would you like to do if the power was out for several days? Do you want to just sit around? Maybe not. Books are good. Coloring is fun. I have coloring books. I ordered some. My favorite one, I have two favorite ones I got to share. One is dogs hanging out of car windows. It's like 50 different breeds of dogs hanging out of a car window, and their ears are flapping and their tongues are, and they have these cute expressions on their faces. They're adorable. And the other one is steampunk dragons, because I love dragons. And steampunk dragons, that's just super cool. So pick up some of these things. Pick up some canned food. Pick up one thing of toilet paper. Pick up a can opener. And don't forget your pets. Yeah. And that can opener, if you have the power can opener at home, make sure you have one that's non-power. Yeah, because you might need it. You just don't know. If the power's out for 3-4 days, it can happen. I know. I've been in a hurricane. I've been in tornadoes. Power goes out. A can opener is a lifesaver. Yeah. Okay, so stack number 3, major power. Stack numbers 1, 2, and 3, major power. Something's coming. You got this. Hang on to specific things that you have that you think can help yourselves or your neighbors or your friends and family. I went through one of my closets. I'll be done in a minute. I went through one of my closets and I have all this bedding. And I used to run my house as a bed and breakfast. So I've already given away 3 van loads full of beds and bedding and stuff. I gave it away to the foster care system. And I still have a whole bunch of sheets and blankets. And I was like, okay, I'm going to donate these now. And I was talking to 2 friends of mine separately, and they said, nope, you need to hang on to those. Okay, so make sure they're clean. I'm going to put them in totes, and I'm going to put them in a closet because I don't need them today, but I might need them maybe a year from now. So I'm just saying, look at what you have, what can be used to help others. And if you have that heavenly inheritance coming in, hang on to it. Okay? We all need to help each other, and that is coming. I love you guys. You're the reason I do this. And I listen to my own videos, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, I hear what you're saying. Hang on to the stuff. Abundance is coming. New truths are coming. New ideas are being birthed. And be joyful. I am sending you blessings of love, light, peace, joy, happiness, success, divine health, and all good things, because I know you're worthy. I know you deserve it. Don't worry. Did you see the lightning? Don't worry and no fear, okay? Have a blessed rest of your day. Namaste.